sensitive? Why everybody so sensitive? Does anybody even give? We feeling babies up with medicine. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, ooh, sipping on juice, sitting in the coupe, thinking about school, thinking about you. Come through, sniffing on blue, sniffing on.
Hey, what's good, everybody? What's good, everybody? How y'all doing? My name is Duke Mohead from HYLO Art. Before we get started, I want to ask that y'all like, share, subscribe to all things HYLO Art. And because if not, you're going to miss out on a very special guest. And today's special guest we have...
It's TAHOE 404.
Hey, y'all give it up, TAHOE 404. All right, all the way from the A, man. You know,
all the way from the A.
You know, how was the trip, man? You good?
It was a nice little ride.
Okay, get out of that traffic, right?
Yeah, get out the city, yeah.
Can't lie, man. I don't really be feeling y'all traffic like that, you know. But that's another story, but we'll talk about that. I know you heard that before.
Yes, all the time.
So before we even get any further, I need you to look at this camera right here and tell us what it is that you do.
What's happening, y'all? This your girl TAHOE 404, all the way from Atlanta. Music producer, songwriter, and gold grill designer.
Okay, all right. Hey, you might be the...
Yeah.
You might be the very first gold grill designer here, as far as I know. I don't know. We may have had some, but they didn't say it. You know what it was. But anyway, how did you get started? How did you start in the
with the grill?
No, with the producing and the
producing.
Yes.
It's something that I always been doing before I knew that's what I was doing. So me and my cousins, we always got together. We always did freestyle battles, rap battles, and I wrote my first song around 11, 12 years old, and I was dubbing tapes. Like, we didn't know how to get instrumentals and record, so we would take a CD player, and I'd take the microphone from my karaoke machine and put it up to the CD player and play the instrumental, and we'll just rap, like, on the mic in front of the CD player. So, and we'll dub them on tapes, but I didn't know that was, like, engineering or whatever like that, so I just kind of always follow that.
That's dope. You need to stay with it, huh?
Yeah, ain't nobody tell me how to do that.
So you mentioned your cousins a little bit, but who else was some of your biggest influences in, you know, you getting into the producing and just music business in general?
I say like Missy Elliott was like a major influence for me. Timberland, of course. I don't know, man. I just been like watching music videos. Yeah, like watching music videos. Everybody in my family just kind of kept music around. Like something was always playing. We was always watching videos, movies, all of that. So,
All right, Virginia, Missy. Yeah, y'all hear that? You know that we got Atlanta, we got Georgia shouting y'all out. So y'all make sure you're showing some love, 'cause we know y'all watching this. So check us out. So tell us about a little bit about the song "On My Way."
Talk to us about that. On My Way was a fun record. It was kind of just playing around the studio. Like when Twin was playing the beat, you know, some of the chord progressions kind of sounded familiar to me. So we kind of took a spin off of Al B. Sure. Night and Day, yes. So, but you know, we did that, and it was a very fun kind of spontaneous record. Came together pretty cool.
So look, Al, we just saying we took motivation from that song. That's it, you know. But shout out to you. Shout out to Al B. Sure in the 80s. You know, I know you ain't old enough to know nothing about that, so your parents used to play that for you, because you tried to say cassette, but then you knew it had to be CDs earlier. So
we was on cassette
right
too.
on the board line. Okay,
I'm a 90s baby. I ain't too.
Okay.
I ain't too.
So you know, just like we asked earlier, Maddie, what's the best work you feel you've done so far?
So far. So I would say a song that I produced that dropped on the 18th by my boy Haystacks. It's called Think About It. So that record to date was probably the best as far as I would say. My earlier records kind of was, you know, my mixes went all that. I was still growing. So this one sonically to me is the best work that I've done so far. And I enjoyed the process of how it came about. So
okay.
Yeah.
Right. So congratulations on that. Now, this next question, we asking it, but it makes sense to me because of where I'm from. But to you, you know, how did you get into the grill making business, the gold grills and all that. How did you get into that?
Well, being a Georgia girl, you know, that was always the thing. Like, now, it started at the flea markets now. We always had to get gold grill. When I first got my job, that's what I did. I went and bought me a grill. I know it was cheap and one reel, but 120 got me 6. You know what I'm saying? I got the 6 golds at the bottom. I couldn't wait to go back to high school with my grills and all that. Stayed losing them. They stayed fading, stayed all that. But it was one particular weekend where I was coming from college. We got them college refunds. And I was like, yeah, I'm finna go get me a grill. And I follow A-Town Grills, which is a black-owned grill company. And I went to the flea market. I think it was a holiday, and I went in there, you know, and the Asians was like, oh, no, we no do a grill today. I'm like, man, I'm finna get me a grill today. You know what I'm saying? So when I got on Instagram, I was like, what these A-Town Grill? I know they did 24-hour mobile service and stuff like that. I was like, okay, I'm finna get my grill today. So when I pulled up, the owner, P.I., that's who got me started. P.I. was like, hey, man, you know what I'm saying? Any person you bring back with you, I give you a percentage off your next set. So I'm like, what? So I was already bringing people with me, you know what I mean? So every time I came back, he was like, man, shoot, if you want to do your own thing, like, I'll show you how to do that. So he kind of set me up with my own, you know, little kits and all that and showed me how to do the impressions and all that kind of stuff. So it kind of, yeah.
For sure. So shout out to A-Town Grills, man, for
A-Town
doing that for you.
Man, yeah, yeah.
And, you know, and I see the hat, the necklace, the grill is all kind of coordinated, right? Was that on purpose or did you just do that? You just,
Oh, yeah, that.
it's automatic. It looked good, too. You know,
I do that, you know, thank you.
So now, we alluded to a little earlier, you got the hat on
Yeah.
and some other things, you know, but being born and raised, not just in Georgia, but actually in Atlanta, Georgia, you know, and then that whole movement that happened probably started before you were born, and then you kind of grew up in it. You know, how do you feel about the current state of Atlanta hip-hop music scene and then the world or the state's hip-hop music scene? So kind of 2 questions. Atlanta hip-hop scene, just your opinion, and
Yeah.
then the overall hip-hop scene.
Just from, and that's a great question. Just from my personal outlook, like, I'm just now getting my feet wet, but I have been observant and growing up in the Atlanta music culture. So, you know, back in the 90s, Kilo Ali, you know, Freak Nigga and all that, like, I grew up with that. And I know that back then Atlanta was a tight-knit and still is a tight-knit community, especially when it comes to the entertainment business. So if you know the right people, like, you in there. And one thing that I notice about a lot of people now is that we have a lot of people who are not from Atlanta, a lot of outsiders coming in, moving to the city, which is not a problem. However, they do have their commentary about how Atlanta moved. Atlanta always had, as any hometown, had their own frequency and their own energy, and it's like, if you're not of that, you kind of misinterpret, you know what I'm saying, what it's not to offend you, it's just that you ain't this, you know what I'm saying, and this ain't that. So when you come to Atlanta, a lot of people hate on or have coming about how we interact with people, but we're seeing a lot of people that's not Atlanta running a lot of the entertainment and places where we felt like it should remain true to Atlanta. So you have a lot of radio personalities, club owners, promoters, DJs that's not Atlanta. So whereas if I'm an Atlanta artist and you might be at a radio station, I can give you my record. But because you're not me, you looking out for your own people, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I gotta pay to play, and it wasn't always like that, especially when people look to the city for the sound, the culture, you know what I'm saying? Like Outkast and all them made people want to come to Atlanta. People came off a Little Scrappy, Lil Jon and all them. Like, that's what made people like, hey, Atlanta, hey, I want that sound or whatever. So you can't, you know, you gotta come through us. But when they come through here, they don't really respect the natives like that. So yeah, that's why I had to say that for, you know what I'm saying? But
Okay, so yeah, tell us how you really feel.
Hey,
but no,
so,
but
yeah.
but you know, and I would say from the outside looking in, you know, a lot of people always mention, you know, going to Atlanta or wherever you at, you know, things like that. So I do get that a lot.
Yeah, they take the hospitality for granted. Like,
Yeah.
we're very hospitable. Like, we welcome you in with open arms. Like I said, if you know the right people, like, who you cool with? Oh, yeah, you good.
Yeah.
And I guess that kind of got us backdoored a little bit.
I can understand that. Like you said,
Yeah.
any hometown, you kind of know, even though it may be large, it's still broken down into different neighborhoods. But I would
Yeah.
say, you know, being in the Army, you know, in the military, I was very proud of. I'm 3 hours away. I have, you know, no dealings with Atlanta other than, you know, my family that lived in, of course, my mentor, things like that. But I was always proud of, you know, Outkast and that whole thing, because being in the military, you know, wherever Georgia rappers and all that, other than Shadi, and people didn't really, I'm talking from a global standpoint, I guess, people didn't really talk about Georgia rap when I first joined the Army. You know what I'm saying? It was nothing heard of till, you know, so we was more West Coast and NWA. I'm talking the guys in the Army that was with me, and also then the Ghetto Boys. But when Outkast pulled up, you know, it was kind of a rap for us. You know, we all came home, like, cause a lot of military, the Bible Belt, from down that way. Yeah, but yeah. So shout out to Atlanta, man. You know, but the current overall, the other question though was the overall hip hop, that state of hip hop music.
Yeah.
Period.
It's getting real convenient. You know what I'm saying? And because it's so convenient, it's room, it's a lot of error in there, it's a lot of just you know, just little snags and little things like that could be avoided or worked out if it wasn't so convenient. You know, it kind of makes the taste of it and what's required to be great a little less that. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's what it's convenient. It's real convenient now.
Sure.
And
but you know, I think
know.
shout out to, you know, all the pioneers and everybody else who made it that way, because I think then when y'all young cats came along, and then you made it convenient though, because of the work ethic and then the smarts, man. People, I feel like, there's no knock to anybody in the old school, but I just feel like the younger kids are just smarter today when it comes to technology. So things just happen a lot faster. You want it a lot faster. Y'all make it happen a lot faster. I mean, I call it the 440 or the 220, depending on where I'm at. But Atlanta's 220 miles from our house. You know, we huge fans, so we go to all the games. So I call it the 440. Y'all just did a 220. You know, a lot of cats, even though it's convenient, driving 220 miles to do an interview with some dudes from HYLO Art is not convenient. Like, everybody's not doing that. So even though it is, you know, it may seem convenient to you, to us in the old days, we subject to show up. You might not be here. It was before the cell phones and all, you know. So, but salute to y'all youngsters for making that world and, you know, creating that. So.
And for me, just real quick, when I was looking at music, my impression was from the OGs. So learning about internships and walking and mailing things and walking those mixtapes or them cassette tapes to whatever. So there's character building in those processes. So I always honor that. You know what I mean? So that's why, you know, that's what it is.
So to get off the subject a little bit, I know Chris gonna kill me because I'm going long, but it's all good. I do want to say, we started out, my son, he one of the best rappers ever now, but when we started, we was making movies and comedy skits, things like that. So we always like to ask people, what's your favorite movie of all time or comedy movie of all time?
Woo! It's between Booty Call and Nutty Professor.
Man, you know what? Wait, Twin said something about Eddie Murphy earlier, but I ain't gonna lie. You might be the first Booty Call answer we got. Jamie Foxx don't get a lot of love around here for some reason.
Hey, yeah, Booty Call. That's my, I love that movie.
So if you could work with one creative, dead or alive, who would it be?
I'd say Jermaine Dupri.
Oh, okay. Right there. Hey, shout out to Jermaine Dupri.
I'd say Jermaine Dupri.
Wow.
Yeah.
And of course, I had asked the second part of it. Why?
His style and his flavor, like the way he do stuff. That was his book. I bought his book. That was the first book that I bought that was music industry based. I just Googled if he had one. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, I guess Spirit told me to do that, and he had one, so I read it. And a lot of his thought processes about how he came up with concepts and work with artists is kind of like how I would dream to do it, or how I do it, or, you know what I'm saying, how I will do it. So, you know, he just got a dope look. He dope, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Shout
saying?
out to Jermaine Dupri then, you know.
Yeah, he hard.
You got some advice for somebody who wants to be in a similar position or even a better position than you, what would it be?
I would say remain pure to yourself. Keep it genuine to yourself. Like, that's one thing that I heard someone mention, like, pure doesn't always mean good or it's pure. That's just who you are. Like, it's organic. You stand on that. It's tested and tried every time. So keep your energy, always keep it organic and pure, for sure.
Okay, well, thank you. I appreciate
Can't
that.
lose.
Y'all give
Can't
it up for
lose.
that, man, because it's hard to do that in this business sometimes.
Yeah.
Now, is there anything that we didn't touch on that you want to discuss or talk about?
Oh, yeah. Hey, shout out to the band folk, man. You know what I'm saying? I was a drum major veteran, drum major extraordinaire. You know, at Fort Valley, I was drum major in high school.
Fort Valley?
I went drum major at Fort Valley, the Blue Machine Marching Band. First female drum major to serve 4 consecutive years. Two, you know what I'm saying? Two of those years I served by myself. I got national and international recognition for being one of the female drum majors on the university level. So, yeah.
Hey, so shout out to Fort Valley. Shout out to you. Congratulations. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
Definitely got to get a lot of photos with you, you know, just so I can say I knew you. I knew you win. So, well, I guess I did. Oh, now, you got any final shout-outs? Any final shout-outs?
Final shout out to y'all. Shout out to HYLO Art.
Thank you.
Shout out to you, the mamas, daddies, grandma, granddaddy, everybody. Shout out to the family. Shout out to love. Shout out to God. Supreme being all that. You know what I'm saying?
You sure? Shout out to
Yes.
Georgia, too. You know,
Oh, yeah.
born and
Atlanta.
raised. Shout out
Like,
to the
real
A.
Atlanta, too.
Right.
They
Yeah.
real old Atlanta.
Oh, yeah, old Atlanta and new Atlanta. All that good stuff. Because we'll be there in a little while. Hey, but y'all give it up for TAHOE 404.
Thank y'all.
Yeah, you couldn't wait for me. I couldn't get it together. Try to get my together. You couldn't wait for me. I couldn't get it together. Go find you one better. A serious